Welcome to the 118th School of Law Diploma ceremony at Fordham University. We extend a special welcome to those joining us virtually. The start of the annual academic procession has begun with the traditional ringing of the Victory Bell. The bell was presented to Fordham University by Admiral Chester Nimitz as a memorial to the Fordham alumni who died fighting for their country during World War II. The ship's bell is from the aircraft carrier Juno, which served in the Pacific before it was silenced by an aerial bomb at Saipan. The bell was first rung at Fordham by President Harry S. Truman on the occasion of his receiving an honorary degree in 1946. Leading today's academic procession is Dr. Cahal Pratt, Assistant Director of the Program on Corporate Ethics and Compliance. Dr. Pratt is carrying the verge for the School of Law. August Golden, a member of the class of 2025, is carrying the School of Law's banner. Next in the procession are candidates for degrees from the Fordham University School of Law, founded in 1905. One of the first two graduate programs at the university, the School of Law was originally housed at the Rose Hill campus, but moved to Manhattan the following year. In 1961, the School of Law found its permanent home at Fordham's Lincoln Center campus. Candidates for the degrees of Juris Doctor, Master of Laws, and Doctor of Juridical Science are wearing the Fordham maroon doctoral robe and hoods with a purple velvet border. Candidates for the degree of Master of Studies in Law are wearing black master's gowns and hoods with a purple velvet border. The Fordham School of Law's class of 2025 numbers 644 graduates. Fordham degrees will be presented this morning to 7 military veterans. Veterans who are candidates for degrees are wearing a medallion on a yellow ribbon, a symbol of Fordham's gratitude for their service and of the university's ongoing participation in the post-9/11 GI Bill Yellow Ribbon Program. Fordham salutes all U.S. military members, veterans, and their families, especially those who are here with us today. Next in the procession are members of the faculty and administration of the School of Law, members of the Fordham University Administration, and members of the Fordham University Board of Trustees. And now, please welcome this morning's diploma ceremony speaker, the Honorable Maria Araujo Khan, who sits on the United States Courts of Appeal for the Second Circuit. Judge Khan is escorted by Professor of Law Nestor Davidson. Judge Khan will be the keynote speaker at this morning's diploma ceremony. At the end of the procession are the Dean of the School of Law, Joseph Landau, and the university's president, Tanya Tetlow. And now, please welcome Pamela Bookman, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, our Master of Ceremonies for the 2025 Fordham University School of Law Diploma Ceremony.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. A warm welcome to our graduates, to the parents, distinguished guests, and the entire Fordham family who are assembled here today, both in person and to those watching on live stream. It is an honor and my absolute pleasure to declare that the Fordham University School of Law's 118th diploma ceremony is in session. If everyone would please stand and join me in welcoming Father John Cicero, our Vice President for Mission Integration and Ministry, to give our invocation.
Gracious God, author of all good gifts, we gather this morning to celebrate the graduates of Fordham Law, so richly endowed with intelligence and determination. We ask that you continue to bless them with health in mind and body, as well as with an abiding gratitude for their Fordham education. May their experiences here over these past years serve them well to lead lives of competent, conscientious, and compassionate service. Bless the professors and mentors, administrators and staff, and all who have contributed to their arrival today at this significant moment. And bless their families and friends who share today in celebrating their achievements. May our graduates always find support and strength in these relationships as they move on to assume new roles and responsibilities. We ask all these blessings, as always, in your most holy name. Amen.
Thank you. If you could all please remain standing for the national anthem. Please be seated. President Tetlow, Dr. Jacobs, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, Judge Kahn, faculty and administration, alumni, families and friends of the class of 2025, and members of the Fordham Law School graduating class of 2025. Congratulations! This is such an exciting day. You have so much to be proud of. You have excelled in challenging courses that have taught you a different way of looking at the world. You have participated in extracurricular activities that have honed your skills, given back to your communities, and broadened your friendships. And you have done it all while developing yourselves as people, as professionals, as lawyers. You have learned hard things, from complicated doctrine to oral advocacy to how to navigate complex relationships. It is astounding to think about how much you have learned since day one at Fordham Law School. And also, importantly, you have learned that you can do hard things. So now you know. You have the skills, the ability, and the privilege to do hard things, and there is a lot of hard work out there to do. I am so proud of you for all you have accomplished, and so excited to see all that you will go out into the world and do. Armed with your Fordham education, your belief in yourself, driven by the motto of our law school to practice law in the service of others, and buoyed by your classmates, your friends, and the broader Fordham family. And speaking of our amazing Fordham family, it is now my pleasure to introduce someone who has provided tremendous guidance for all of us here at Fordham. And I'm talking, of course, about our incredible dean, Joseph Landau, a person of vision, wisdom, and a deep commitment to justice, to the legal profession, and to Fordham. Joe? It's an honor.
Oh, thank you. Honor's mine. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dean Bookman. President Tetlow, Dr. Jacobs, members of the Board of Trustees, Judge Kahn, faculty and administration, alumni, families, friends, and the 2025 graduating class of Fordham Law School, congratulations. Not only for graduating, but for all you've achieved to arrive at this important day. And now, after years of dedication, you're no longer law students. You're becoming members of the legal profession. And my thoughts about both these notions, becoming and profession, are what I want to talk to you about today. As lawyers, what will you profess? And as both people and attorneys, what will you become? You can see I'm already starting with questions, and as a law professor, it's a habit I just can't seem to shake, but you get to relax today because I promise you, you won't be called on. But the fact that I'm beginning with questions speaks to a fundamental quality of our profession, which is open and honest inquiry in pursuit of facts, in pursuit of principles, in pursuit of truth, as best as can be discovered and understood. As Fordham lawyers, you've been immersed in this commitment to inquiry. You've cultivated, and I trust, come to love the pursuit of knowledge, the pursuit of truth, the pursuit of law and justice. This commitment will provide you with the thrill of discovery, but be prepared. Because graduates, on occasion, it will also disorient you. And it should disorient you. Challenging what you believe, what you stand for, even challenging the essence of who you are. The American writer Jack Kerouac said that all of life is a foreign country. It's a sentiment that captures what life and a career in law can be at its very best. New worlds, the opportunity to understand and grow, the ability to acquire vast knowledge and to make the unfamiliar familiar. It's when we not only interrogate the facts, but question our own assumptions and automatic beliefs that we become truly free to grow in self-awareness. It's how we reduce our intellectual and moral blindness, our self-centeredness, and increasingly view others and reality itself with greater intellectual and moral precision, with greater objectivity, and with greater clarity. So another question for you today, and it's a challenge for each of you. Will you commit to lifelong inquiry in service of your clients, in service of the law, and in service of justice? The rewards for doing so will be lifelong, greater than any of us can imagine as professionals and as human beings. And this brings us to the matter of profession, so much more than having a job or a credential. Joining the legal profession means you take on new responsibilities and, crucially, embrace a new identity, a further step in that journey of becoming mentioned earlier. An identity defined by specific duties, values, and conduct that will shape who we all are as lawyers. This is where the spirit of lifelong inquiry comes in, and here's where I ask you a question that I hope you'll keep asking yourselves for the rest of your careers. What do I profess? Not just in words, but in the character of my actions and the core of my professional being. If we profess nothing, we're not a profession. Law is just a job, and we're just minor mechanics, constructing and adjusting the machinery of contracts and disputes with our own intellectual wrenches, or just throwing those wrenches into the works. Or perhaps worse, without the identity, values, and commitments of our profession, we ourselves become cogs in machines of different sizes. But you came to Fordham to be engines and drivers of the law, drivers of insight, and drivers of clarity. The profession you enter today is not a recent invention. It's an ancient endeavor with legal treaties dating back to 1269 BC. For millennia, societies have created frameworks to govern interactions, to protect individuals and communities, and to strive for a more predictable and just existence. From ancient codes inscribed on tablets made of clay rather than iPads to the statutes and precedents of today, the human intellect has constantly been engaged in the effort to define rights, responsibilities, and the very meaning of justice and a society that provides the greatest liberty and potential for human fulfillment. You are inheriting and contributing to this tradition. You're responsible for it, supporting it, developing it, protecting it, advocating for it, and actively and courageously professing its highest ideals. To be clear, standing for the values of a profession can be harder than it sounds. Seeing the truth can be harder than it may seem. History offers us many examples. We used to think that the Earth was the center of the universe. Copernicus and Galileo, brave, rational, empirical thinkers, presented a new model. These were profound challenges about how we saw our place in the cosmos, requiring a commitment to the facts and for truth as best as they could be determined, that were neither abundant nor popular. Much more recently, we've seen big changes in our understanding of human behavior and mental health, with pioneering voices supported by evolving research, courageously challenging long-standing stigmas and championing new ideas, including a far deeper appreciation of mental health in a movement that's transformed how we think about well-being. The law is also constantly evolving, and as lawyers, you will be pivotal in how our legal system sees and responds to emerging challenges across technology, justice, human rights, and so much more. The human spirit has a yearning for understanding and justice that has a persistent way of illuminating even the darkest corners. Even in the most trying times, it's our profession's solemn responsibility to witness, remember, and record so that ultimately we can authentically profess our enduring values and the cause of justice. As graduates, you take on that new way of seeing of the world and of yourselves. Look keenly and look clearly. Look within and look without. We need your vision. We need your insights. This idea of seeing reminds me of the Jesuit concept of discernment, which is not just about intellectually seeing the truth, but a spiritual and moral exercise. In some Jesuit communities, there's a daily exam, not with the kinds of 3-hour stressful time limits that you've come to know in law school, but rather a reflection of our motivations to determine whether we're acting for the right motives. Surely I'm oversimplifying, and apologies to the religious experts with us today, but I find this daily practice to be a powerful and useful tool in becoming better at what we do and happier, more fulfilled people. Your education at Fordham, your relationships with each other, and your connections with the faculty and the school itself, with whom I urge you to stay in touch and remain involved, are all valuable North Stars to help guide you, orient you, and inspire you with a supportive community as you begin your professional life. We want to witness your growth, and we want to support it throughout all of your careers. And that leads me to the final and perhaps most personal question that I leave you with today, a question I urge you to ask yourselves repeatedly as you go through your careers. Who will I become? Because this question, of course, doesn't end today. For you, graduates of Fordham Law School, it begins. Many of us on this stage have been privileged to see and experience how a legal education and this profession have allowed us to find our own distinctive paths. And as all of you, too, embrace the many possibilities for an exciting and meaningful career, you find your own home in the law with a purpose that advances your own satisfaction while also elevating the profession. The possibilities are limitless. You will face many decisions, of course, around practice areas, what offices to join, what causes to ignite your passion, and how best to drive your advocacy. You'll have to think about how much financial security you need, and just as important, what riches you need and what you want to be rich in. to be rich in possessions, rich in experiences, rich in family and friends, rich in knowledge, rich in contributing meaningful work to a great profession, surely these are not mutually exclusive. All are on the table, but be clear-eyed. Each choice comes with its own trade-offs. And as you weigh these choices carefully, ask yourself, what do I stand for? What do I profess? What kind of lawyer shall I become? That timeless piece of wisdom from Rabbi Hillel feels particularly apt as you stand ready to embark on this journey. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I'm only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? You are responsible for answering the first two questions, but I can definitely answer the third. To that final critical question, if not now, when, my answer to you is simple and direct. Now. You start now. Equipped with your Fordham education, the values we've explored today, and with your incredible talent to discover what the law truly means to you, what kind of lawyer and person you'll choose to become, a great enterprise, a profound discovery, and it lasts a lifetime. For all you've worked for and all you've achieved to reach this great day, we all wish you every success, every happiness, and the widest range of rewards, satisfactions, and achievements. Go forth and show the world what a Fordham lawyer can do, and know how much you will be, how much you can be, and everything you will become. This is not goodbye today. This is hello to something new, the next chapter of your becoming as you step into the world as Fordham lawyers. It's my distinct honor and the profound honor of this great institution to call all of you graduates of Fordham Law School and to welcome you wholeheartedly into the profession of law, a profession you now help shape, and a profession you now profess. Congratulations, class of 2025. Cheers to you, cheers to us, and cheers to Fordham. I now have the great honor to introduce Tanya Tetlow, the 33rd president of Fordham University, a president who broke barriers to become the first layperson, the first woman, and the first attorney to lead Fordham University in its history. We're delighted to have her both as university president and a law school colleague. Please join me now in welcoming to the podium President Tanya Tetlow.
I remember my own law school graduation like it was yesterday, even though I realize it was before most of you were born. I remember the speakers describing the enormous power we now had, the impact on the structures of the legal system, and even of democracy itself. And I remember sitting where you are feeling anything but powerful. This summer, you will cram all of law into your head for the bar exam, only to have most of that knowledge leak out as soon as you go celebrate that night. Then you'll face real life, real lawyering, with a mix of excitement and not a little bit of panic. Most of you will walk into your first jobs trying to project a self-confidence you do not actually feel. But here's what I hope you will find oddly comforting. That feeling that you don't have the answers is forever, not just now. You cannot and never will know all the answers because there is just too much of law and it changes daily. What you learned here is the ability to keep learning, to ask the right questions, to be endlessly curious. We need you to be humble, and right now I imagine most of you are drowning in humility, but I hope it's a feeling you will keep for the rest of your career, to resist the temptation of swagger. Because the practice of law, indeed all of life, is so much more interesting if you're curious, open to the possibility of being wrong. Every day, as you make 100 small decisions, you will have more power than you imagine. How you treat your clients, how you fight your cause, and more importantly, what causes you choose to fight. My hope in those moments is that you remember the Jesuit part of your legal training at Fordham. For most of you, Jesuit mission means a focus on social justice, and that is very true, but there is a Jesuit superpower I want you to also remember: discernment. Discernment helps you find the right answer to difficult problems. It means using that humility I talked about, openness to being wrong, curiosity to take in more information, to listen harder to more voices. And this part of discernment overlaps heavily with legal education. You cannot know the strength of your belief until you consider the other side. Discernment also means something difficult to practice in an adversarial legal system: to assume good intentions of those who disagree with you instead of demonizing them. Basically the opposite of what the world models for you right now. Most of all, discernment means the wisdom to pay attention to your values and come to the right answer. Because after you've sat with the problem, done everything you can to map out the possible answers in good lawyerly fashion, equally able to argue both sides of a hard decision, it will come down to listening to that still small voice that helps you know what to do, to check in with your gut. Remember that important moral choices don't always come with neon signs that say, "Someday my grandchildren will judge me for this decision." Moral choices usually come in the cumulated total of 1,000,000 small decisions. Every day, you will face choices about whether to do the right thing or to procrastinate doing the right thing, to think it won't matter this time. So ultimately, discernment means using another Jesuit superpower, courage, to do what you know to be right, even when the consequences terrify you. Because the point is not to be fearless, it's to be brave. Class of 2025, we are so very proud of you, and we know that you will show the world what it means to be a Fordham lawyer, a person who lives for others, open, bold and brave, willing to do the right thing even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Tetlow, for those words, and it's now my special privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, honored alumna of the class of 1989, Judge Maria Araujo Khan of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. Judge Khan is an inspiration not only for exemplary legal career, but also because of her personal story. Born in Angola, Africa, she came to the United States at age 10, where she learned English as a second language and became interested in advocating and problem solving for her family and her immigrant neighbors. This passion led her to pursue the law, first earning a bachelor's degree from New York University in 1986, and then attending Fordham Law School, where she focused on working toward a career in public interest law. She graduated from Fordham Law School in 1989. After her clerkships and work as a public defender, she served as an assistant United States attorney in the District of Connecticut for nearly a decade. In 2006, Judge Khan was appointed to the Connecticut Superior Court, where she presided mainly over criminal matters for 11 years, and in 2017 appointed to the Connecticut Appellate Court, and just 3 months later rose to the Connecticut Supreme Court. In 2023, Judge Khan was appointed to the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. She is a steadfast supporter of Fordham law, and we're so honored to have her with us today. Please join me in welcoming Judge Khan.
Good morning. Thank you, Dean Landau, President Tetlow. Now, not only do we have an amazing president, I can tell you she has a beautiful voice during the singing of the anthem. Dr. Jacobs, members of the faculty, staff, distinguished alumni, family, and friends of this year's graduates. I'm so pleased to be here today as we celebrate 644 extraordinary graduates. Today's diploma ceremony gives us a chance to celebrate and honor the accomplishments of this remarkable class. Look around you, graduates. Take a moment. Each of you has a unique story. You have different backgrounds, different motivations, but a shared commitment to the pursuit of justice. This variety is also reflected in the types of degrees you've earned: JDs, LLMs, MSLs, and SJDs. You hail from over 30 countries where some of you were already accomplished attorneys. When I look at this class, I don't just see degrees. I see a group that understood early on that the true measure of education is not grades or rankings, but learning through the service of others. The statistics this year tell an inspiring story. Collectively, you've contributed over 116,000 hours of public service work on a wide variety of legal issues. You represented clients in the Federal Tax Clinic, the Ferrick Center Immigrant Justice Project, and the Housing and Civil Rights Litigation Clinic. And that is just the tip of the iceberg of the many contributions that this class made while at Fordham. Graduates, you made the most of your time here, and you leave the community better than you found it. And for that, I and we applaud you. And because I'm looking at a sea of proud faces out there, you can all wave, parents, friends, and family. That's a testament that it truly takes a village to get through law school. I would also like to take a moment now for a shout out to all of those loved ones who provided guidance and encouragement to today's graduates. You know, graduates, the ones who took your calls during the ups and downs of law school. It has been family, friends, loved ones. It's been your emotional, intellectual, and at times financial support that has made this moment possible. My heartfelt congratulations to every single one of you. Graduates, let's now take a moment, stand up, stretch a little, turn around, and let's give your family, friends, loved ones a round of applause. So, I am thrilled to return to my Fordham roots, a place that played such a huge role in making me who I am. The last time I attended a Fordham Law School graduation ceremony, it was my own, 36 years ago. Now, that may seem like a long time to you, to many of you, but I do share some common experiences with you, this class. Like many of you, I also had Professor Capra. Having recently observed one of his classes, I can assure you not much has changed. Although the daily beverage is now Dr. Pepper instead of Orangina, the high energy and excitement of the class is still there. He was the one who encouraged me to apply to a federal clerkship, which changed my career trajectory. And I can tell you he is still advocating for students today, as are many of your faculty and mentors here on the stage, and I want you to congratulate them and thank them as well. Now, among you, undoubtedly, will be some of future Fordham Law commencement speakers. If you had told me back then that there would be a day when I would be asked to deliver the commencement address to a new graduating class, I would not have believed you. It is one of the greatest honors of my life to be your commencement speaker. Thank you. As a judge, I have the privilege of working with a team of 5 attorneys, 1 permanent and 4 one-year term law clerks, most of them recent graduates like yourselves, and one of whom you would be interested to know also graduated from Fordham Law School. Ryan Hoare is one of 4 Fordham Law graduates that I have hired in the last 2 years as a Second Circuit judge, and I'm sure with many more to come. Perhaps some of you in the audience, I do have 2 positions posted, just saying. My team inspires me to do my best work, and my work with them is my favorite part of the job. When I speak to law students who are at the cusp of their legal careers, like you, I always feel a renewed sense of energy. Perhaps at no time was this more true than when I recently met with an impressive group of graduates to learn about their time at Fordham. Raise your hand. I'd like to thank them for taking time out of their busy schedule to meet with me and to speak with me about their experiences at Fordham. And I look forward to hearing about your future successes. The biggest takeaway from our conversation was the deep sense of community and connection that the Fordham students feel towards each other. The connections you have made here were irrespective of the degree you pursued and were strengthened by the diversity of your backgrounds and interests. The students told me that when you were first grouped into your houses, you started out as strangers. And through this academic journey, you have made some good friends that now feel like family. This class has come together to support each other, demonstrating mutual respect and a shared sense of common purpose by showing up at events like Smash the System, Family Feud, Tacos and Talking, karaoke nights, running marathons together, alumni kickball games, and of course, let's not forget, the occasional night out at Morty's. Don't worry, parents, they were just networking. And that's how it should be. You are each other's network. As you leave here today, take with you not just your knowledge of the law, but also the friendships you have formed and the connections you have made. Just today, I ran into 2 colleagues from my Fordham class of 1989 who have a daughter graduating. But also, your careers will be long ones, filled with great opportunities and occasional rejections. When you reach those proverbial forks in the road, that will be the time, like me, when you will come back to your Fordham community, a connection that will endure long after graduation. When I was preparing my remarks for today, I thought, what wisdom could I possibly offer that would resonate with this diverse class and diverse experiences? It was at this point that I really started to panic, Because what is there to say that you haven't already heard? I won't tell you to work hard because you already know how to do that. The fact that you're here is a testament to your ability to work hard. Based on your pro bono work, you also understand that law is not just a profession, but a noble calling. I can't give you the magic recipe for success in your legal careers because there is no magic recipe for success. Your careers will have ups and downs. The finest and most successful lawyers I have ever met have come up short at one point or another. Maybe they were rejected for a clerkship or a job at a law firm. Or drawing from my own experience, perhaps a judgeship or two, all right, 3. That's okay. The occasional rejection or failure keeps us humble and inoculates us from arrogance. But more importantly, it should motivate us. Motivate you not to give up, but to persist in your goals. Class of 2025, I want to take advantage of my one opportunity to influence your thinking about the lawyer you want to be and can become. So I'm going to try to answer or make some suggestions to Dean Landau's questions to you. In my view, the most successful and fulfilled lawyers and judges have 2 characteristics in common: intellectual humility and a deep passion for the law. Now, what do I mean about intellectual humility? It is a willingness to recognize the limits of your own knowledge and to appreciate others' intellectual strengths. Not surprisingly, it was Judge Learned Hand who said it best when he wrote, and I'm going to paraphrase a little, "Liberty is not the freedom to do as one likes. The spirit of liberty is the spirit which is not too sure that it is right. The spirit of liberty is the spirit which seeks to understand the minds of others." If I may add to that, I propose that the stewardship of liberty, which is at the heart of our profession, is guided and influenced by our ability to listen with awareness. To understand the mind of others, you must first listen with the purpose to truly understand others' perspectives. This requires inner strength and courage to open our minds to other people's ideas. It takes honest self-awareness and humility to admit that our own ideas might be wrong, and ultimately to be open to change. Remember that the law isn't just about knowing the rules, it's about understanding people. The best attorneys aren't just brilliant legal minds, they have empathy and recognize that behind every case is a real person or persons who will be affected by the outcome of the case. As a member of a collaborative court where we sit in panels of 3 judges to decide cases, the ability to listen to the parties' arguments and our colleagues' perspectives is critical to the process of reaching a just result. In my nearly 20 years as a judge, I've had to make many decisions, and often there's a winning and a losing side. In all my years of judging, I have found that even when a litigant loses, that person can respect the court's decision if that litigant felt that their position or their argument was heard and considered. That is what we call in the law due process. A colleague of mine recently used a sports analogy to describe this concept. You might not like a referee's call in a particular game, but you would not advocate for a game with no referees. As trustees of justice, it is our collective challenge to temper advocacy with empathy and humanity, to effect change while also considering its impact on others. And to accomplish this, we must listen with the genuine goal of understanding. If you allow yourselves to listen with openness, you will venture further in your thinking, and you will become better advocates, whether your passion leads you to the private sector or public service. This leads to the second characteristic I find in successful attorneys and judges: a deep passion for the work they are doing. Find that area of the law that you're most passionate about and pursue it. Identify successful attorneys doing the type of work you want to be doing and ask them to mentor you. Don't be shy. Let's face it, most attorneys like to talk, and especially about themselves. They will share their career path and offer you some advice or tips. If you're doing what you're passionate about, you will want to get up in the morning and go to work, and those long hours won't seem so long. Now, for some of you, your passion will lead you to the corporate or private side, and others to public service. For me, that calling was public service. As an immigrant from a hardworking, low-income family, it was not always easy to explain to my parents why I chose, for example, to work for legal aid during my 1L summer year, making half of what a local law firm had offered me. And although they knew I was happy to get a coveted federal clerkship after graduation, they could not understand why I did not take the high-paying law firm job. They would point out all the attorneys in our community who drove very nice cars and had large homes. My parents would ask, "Are you sure you're happy?" It was asked with a mixture of hope and confusion because there was a gap in understanding. Happiness and success meant something different to my parents. Success meant never having to worry about food on the table or a roof over our heads. Professional happiness, well, that was a luxury. They could not understand some of the choices I made along the way, and at times, I felt I let them down. Of course, it turned out pretty well for me, but there were many ups and downs along the path. But my mother recently told me that she now understands my choices and the choices I made and why I made them. You have been privileged to attend a great law school that encourages and fosters public service. And I ask you not to forget those experiences and to continue to do that work in your legal careers. I recognize that the pressure of loans and finances may preclude it. And let's face it, there's nothing wrong with making some money, okay? Nothing wrong with that. I see a lot of parents nodding. But even if your passion is corporate law or the private sector, there will be ample opportunities to volunteer your services. And when you do volunteer work, I guarantee you it will be one of the most rewarding experiences in your legal careers and life, and will bring you to the essence of our profession, a calling to the service of others. Now, I know it's scary to leave the comfort of this great Fordham community for the unknown. Draw strength from your experiences at Fordham. You have already shown resilience in the face of adversity, perseverance through setbacks, and amazing tenacity in the pursuit of your goals. Have a vision for a larger purpose, a bigger mission, and never, ever give up on that vision. If you fail, don't allow yourself to be discouraged. On the contrary, find strength from that fall and stand up and try again. Make big choices early and often. Recognize and accept the limitations of your expertise and knowledge. Ask for help when you need it. Own and learn from the mistakes you make. Finally, I recognize that you are entering the practice of law at a crucial time. The role of the judiciary in our democracy is at the forefront of public discourse. As the next generation of lawyers, and like those who came before you and whose shoulders you now stand, it is your responsibility to uphold the ethical foundations of our profession, to uphold and respect the rule of law, and to hold yourselves accountable to it. The future of our profession, the rule of law, and our system of government in many ways is in your hands. It is from my interactions with you and the work that I do with this generation of young lawyers that gives me great hope. Yes, I have great hope for the future of our profession, the rule of law, and our democracy. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for inviting me to serve as your commencement speaker today. May you experience all the best life has to offer. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you so much for those inspiring words, Judge Kahn. It's now an honor of mine to present a couple of honors. First, two distinguished members of the law faculty who have received the Dean's Medal of Recognition, an award that recognizes exceptional dedication, outstanding scholarship, unwavering commitment to student success. This year's recipients truly exemplify these values and excellence that define our institution. First, please join me in congratulating Russ Pierce, the Edward and Marilyn Bellett Chair in Legal Ethics, Morality, and Religion. And second, yes. And second, please join me in congratulating Leah Hill, the Anne Moynihan Distinguished Clinical Scholar and Clinical Professor of Law, whose contributions, like Professor Pierce, have left such a lasting impact. on our community. And now the Dean's Special Achievement Award. I have a very special person I'd like to recognize now. Today, we're not just celebrating academic achievement, although we surely are. We're honoring courage, leadership, and the transformative power of authenticity. It is my great privilege to recognize a student who's not only made history as the first transgender student body president of our law school, but has also led with grace, resilience, and unwavering integrity. With deep pride and gratitude, I now present the Dean's Special Achievement Award to Fordham Law School's SBA President, August Eden Golden. August?
Wow, hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you to Dean Landau. That was really, it's really beautiful to be recognized by your community like that. And yes, I have a lot of thanks, but I also have limited time, so I'm gonna get on with it. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate the Fordham Law Class of 2025. I want to start by congratulating my fellow graduates along with their support systems, parents, spouses, partners, children, friends, chosen families. You have motivated us, supported us, challenged us, and probably asked us a lot of legal questions. But we could not have done this without you. I had the honor of being this year's Student Bar Association president. I am incredibly proud to have been our first openly transgender president, and I'm optimistic that I will not be the last. Period. Despite the monumental challenges facing my community right now, I have that optimism in large part because of my time here. Throughout law school, I saw firsthand how advocacy can create a ripple effect of positive change, even when it feels like the world is against you. I saw my classmates, professors, and administrators grow to understand my experience as I grew to understand theirs. Many times, I saw solidarity in action. When members of our community needed support, people stepped up. It wasn't perfect. Law school's hard, and it's even harder with forces outside the classroom weighing you down. But looking back, I can say that I saw real positive change at Fordham and beyond because people were willing to do the work. As I see mounting attacks on not only our profession, but also many of the most disenfranchised people in our society, I think about how law and morality can be so misaligned, but are so often assumed to be synonymous. Throughout history, we've seen horrible things sanctioned by the state, at times engineered and defended by attorneys. Today, many of us have valid and important critiques of the law, and it can be easy to feel powerless in the face of those legal moral misalignments that you may encounter throughout your career, especially as new attorneys. But the beautiful thing, and the scary thing, about this profession is that each day you will wake up and decide whether you help create a more equitable, just, inclusive society, or whether you perpetuate harm directly or indirectly. The latter is often far easier and almost always more profitable. It is uncomfortable, inconvenient, and indeed sometimes unsafe to do what is morally right. My challenge to you all is to do it anyway. Each of our paths will be unique, but no matter where you came from and where you're going, you have real agency to make positive change, even on a small scale. Fordham's motto is in the service of others. As you venture out into the world, ask yourself whom or what you are serving and to what end. If you're happy with your answer, spread your joy and transformative power to those around you. And if you find yourself dissatisfied with your answer, do something about it. You made it through law school. You've already proven to yourself you can do hard things. So make the hard things worth doing. As I look back on my law school career, every single thing that felt insurmountable turned out to be not only achievable, but profoundly rewarding. I will carry that with me, and I hope that you all do the same. Congratulations again to my fellow graduates, and keep fighting for a better world. Thank you.
Thank you, August, for those tremendous remarks and for all the work you and the SBA board did on behalf of the student body. We look forward to your continued advocacy as a member of the bar. And now, it is my honor to ask my good friend and colleague, Professor Gemma Solmene, to come forward for the graduation awards.
Good morning, distinguished faculty, honored guests, proud families, and above all today, the extraordinary graduates of the class of 2025. It is my honor to announce the 2025 graduation awards. The list of awards can be found by visiting the QR code on your programs. Not all of the awards will be announced today, as many are based on spring exam results or GPA. So those not announced today, along with Latin honors, will be released in June. Those and the awards announced today can be viewed online at the Law School Diploma Ceremony page, or you can return to the QR code under the bios in your program. Before announcing the awards, I remind you that today is a powerful crossroad where years of rigorous study give way to the next chapter in your lives as aspiring advocates. And with these awards, we honor those of you who have walked that path with exceptional distinction. These awards celebrate integrity, leadership, intellect, courage, and a deep commitment to the principles that lie at the heart of the legal profession. The recipients have lifted others while climbing and have shown brilliance in their arguments as well as their empathy, service, and vision. They are not just future lawyers, they are future leaders. And so I am honored to celebrate them with you. I will begin by noting that 2 awards that are in your program, the Teacher of the Year Award and the Adjunct Teacher of the Year Award, were selected wholly by our students. For their excellence in the classroom and for the care, clarity, and deep engagement they bring to their teaching, the Teacher of the Award recipient is Professor Aaron Sager. And the recipient of the Adjunct Teacher of the Year Award is Professor Yasmin Nichols. And I will start with the Eugene J. Keefe Award recipient. The Eugene J. Keefe Award is presented to the person who has made the most important contribution to the Fordham community during the academic year. This year's recipient has truly contributed in every way to our community and to the community at large. She has been a leader in many ways and has devoted her career to public service. Over the course of her nearly 3-decade career in public interest law, she has made a series of landmark contributions to expand access to justice for people in need, and every day as a member of our community. She embodies Fordham Law's mission of service, dedication, and excellence. Her leadership has inspired countless law students to engage in and pursue careers in public service. It is my pleasure to announce the recipient of this year's Eugene J. Keefe Award, Dora Galakatis. Congratulations to these 3 recipients. Their remarks can be viewed online at the Law School Diploma Ceremony page or access through the QR code under the bios in your program. And now on to the Student Graduation Awards. The recipients of these awards were selected based on nominations or a selection by the faculty committee I was honored to chair this year, or a selection by the dean. The Class of 1911 prize is awarded for the best essay submitted by a student in the graduating class on a legal subject that is designated annually by the dean. The topic for this year's essay centered around the role of civics and civility in upholding the rule of law and strengthening democracy. Students were invited to explore the intersection of civics and civility in an era marked by increasing challenges to democratic norms through a lens of constitutional law, public policy, or legal ethics, and to discuss how these principles play a crucial role in maintaining the integrity of the legal system while fostering a healthy democracy. For the paper titled, "He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother," Alistair McIntyre, Affirmative Action and Americas. This year's recipient is Andre Ramon Perez. The Abraham Abramovsky Award is presented to a member of the graduating JD class in recognition of their outstanding performance in trial advocacy. This year's recipient is Philip Brian O'Connell. The Joseph R. Crowley Memorial Award is given to the graduating JD student who, during their law school tenure, best emulated the qualities of the late Dean Crowley. These qualities include academic achievement, participation in law school activities, volunteer activities both within and outside of the law school community, a demonstrated commitment to supporting fellow students, the faculty, and the administration, and overall achievements that have enhanced the reputation of the law school. This year, there are 2 recipients. They are Raisa Abe and Darcy Gallego. The Mary Daly Prize in Legal Ethics is awarded to the graduating JD student who publishes the most significant writing relating to lawyers' professional responsibility or the legal profession. It was established by the directors of the Stein Center for Law and Ethics in memory of their beloved colleague, Mary Daly, who directed the Stein Center in the 1980s and 90s. This year's recipient is Sophia Sabit. The next 2 awards recognize the recipients for their commitment to public interest. The Donald Magnetti Award is presented to a member of the graduating class in recognition of outstanding public commitment and contribution to those beyond the law school community. This year's recipient is Jaylin Gabriella Radsminski-Smith. The Feingold Family Prize recognizes a commitment to public service by a graduating JD student, not only throughout their Fordham law career, but a broader commitment beyond law school. This year's recipient is August Eden Golden. The Adele Monaco Memorial Award is presented to a member of the graduating JD class in the evening division who has made a positive impact on the lives of evening division students through the demonstration of compassion, courage, determination, and commitment to public service. This year, there are 2 recipients. Catherine Martinez Fuentes and Megan Eileen McWaters. The Walter B. Kennedy Award is presented to a member of the Fordham Law Review in recognition of extraordinary service that exemplifies the commitment to legal excellence of Professor Walter D. Kennedy, who served as the Law Review's moderator from 1935 to 1945. This year, there are 2 recipients. Karis Hope Franklin and Nora Sentfeldlieber. The following 3 awards recognize the recipients for their participation on this year's Moot Court Board. The Keith C. Miller Memorial Award is presented to a member of the graduating JD class who has demonstrated unselfish dedication to the Fordham Moot Court program. It is named in memory of Keith Miller, who was the managing editor of the Moot Court Board in 1986 to 1987. This year's recipient is Abigail Conroy. The Lawrence J. McKay Prize is awarded to the graduating JD students who represented the law school in the National Moot Court Competition. This year's recipients are Annika Jorgensen, Matthew Salovich, and Emily Stubblefield. I'm sorry, Emily. The final Moot Court Award is the Kimberly Greer Singer Award, which is awarded to a member of the National Moot Court competition team who possesses outstanding oral advocacy and legal writing skills, as well as a demonstrated interest in teaching or mentoring students. This year's recipient is, again, Annika Jorgensen. The next award is the Monsignor James J. Murray Prize for Achievement in Public Service, which is given to graduating Fordham Law School's JD student who is committed to a career in public service. The prize was established through a generous gift from James J. Houlihan, 1974 graduate of the Gabelli School of Business, Christy L. Houlihan of the law school class of 2011, and the Houlihan family. Just as Monsignor Murray exemplified the Fordham Law motto, "In the service of others," it is the hope of the Houlihan family that the recipients of this prize will commit their professional lives to public service. This year, there are 2 recipients. Darcy Gallego and Ross Levin. The Anne Moynihan Award is presented to a member of the JD graduating class in recognition of outstanding performance in the law school's clinical program. This year, there are 2 recipients. Megan McCullough Gulmalik and Taylor Campbell Varaka. The National Association of Women Lawyers Award is sponsored by the National Association of Women Lawyers and recognizes an outstanding JD Law graduate of each American Bar Association approved law school. The criteria for this award selects a recipient who contributes to the advancement of women in society, promotes issues and concerns of women in the legal profession, exhibits motivation, tenacity, and enthusiasm, demonstrates academic achievement, and earns the respect of faculty, administration, and fellow students. This year's recipient is Celine Alhow. The Parjamovsky-Siegelman Student Graduation Prize is awarded to the graduating JD student who produced the best work of scholarship published in one of Fordham's law school journals. This year's recipient for the paper entitled rereading PICO and the Equal Protection Clause in Volume 92 of the Fordham Law Review is Johanny Gabriella Dubon. The Robert Aram Ranzuli Prize in Criminal Law is presented to the graduating JD student who has excelled in the area of criminal law during their tenure at Fordham Law and who intends to engage in public service criminal law work upon graduating. The prize is supported by the Ranzuli Charitable Trust, Kevin and Janine O'Brien, and Martin J. and Mary Ann McLaughlin. This year, there are 2 recipients. Sammy Pfeffer Chahi and Amelia Estevez McManus. The Joran Franklin Robbie Class of '79 Memorial Legal Research Prize is presented to a graduating student who has demonstrated excellence in the Advanced Legal Research Program. This year's recipient is Rebecca Egan. The Graduate Student Community Prize is awarded to the graduating LLM or MSL student who made a singular and distinctive contribution to the law school's graduate school community. This year's recipient is Eli Pinto. And finally, I congratulate again the recipient of the Dean's Special Achievement Award, August Golden. Let's have a final round of applause for all of the award recipients. Congratulations once again.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for, as we announce our graduates. I am delighted to be joined by my colleague, Cecilia Caldera, the Assistant Dean for International and Non-JD Programs, who will announce our incredible SJD, MSL, and LLM graduates. Dean Caldera.
Good morning to all. It is my great honor to read the names of the recipients of our doctoral and master's degrees, beginning with the recipients of the Doctor of Juridical Science, the highest degree awarded by the law school. They are Anda Baloga, Andy de Guimarães e Moraes, Wan Lee. And now for the recipients of the Master of Studies in Law degree. Abril Delgado. Anise Cody. Eileen Margaret O'Sullivan. Ginger Yvonne Harper. Christina Joy Quinton. Tanisha Martinez. Paula M. Intervallo. Stacy Boudoir. Melissa J. McCarthy. Emily J. Catula. Sylvia Ledesma. Stephanie Ann Mohammed. Caitlin Marie Toro. Aaliyah Webster. Adrian H. Zapata. Christina Rose DeFelice. Nicole T. DeMeglio. Kevin Andrew Tenku. Theodora Saviolakis. Jason Charles Ballard Carroll. Catherine C. Frawley. Isabel Anna Leone. Camila Locapudis. Takashi Torigio. Kimberly Hardin Williams. Alexis Robinson. Camille Cato. Olita Iesi. Catherine Vivas. Tara Johnston. Horace Cummings. Yannick Johnson. Nicole Elisa Dupree. Cassie Paula. Lily Badima. Derek Thompson. Slav Ostin. James Leone. Orlando Toribio. Julia Tokarev. Desiree Desaunier. Jacqueline Ellen Layton. Jamie Lizeth Martinez. Homaira Mohammadi. Jude Destriel. Darena Saint Amand. Harold Ross. Tajil Caven. Bianca Alexis Richardson. Jasmine Delgado Bose. Fatu Jo Nai. Kira M. Figueroa, who is joined by their little one. Shanice Nicole McDonald, who is also joined by their little one. Shamisa Anthony Hickman, joined by baby Michael. And now the recipients of the Master of Laws degree. These students already hold law degrees, many from outside the United States. Saragul Joraeva. Emst Famida Akhtar. Perla Maisel Jimenez. Donatella Santillo. Sala Marie Yaraviden. India Flanagan. Sunny Douglas. Helena Veronique Stranger. Christina Elizabeth Holler. Jian Wang. Shanikan Kaibat. Shayla Tindog Teigel. Kelly Ryan Heffernan. Catherine Philgate. Elena Argueta. Ashok Aurora. Maria Camila Parada Coronado. Maria Jose Sales. Laura Voigtlanger. Camila Oriana Anca. Carolyn Amy Rodriguez Severino. Martina Brunoni. Elling Del Rosario Valenzuela Medina. Yi-Chi Wong. Ana Alves. Marjorie Ribeiro Barbosa. Bianca Noguera Pipala. Alice Pozo. Martina Ferrerazo. Paola Malieri Waldman. Thais Fernandez de Oliveira Sales. Lesia Medved. Luca Cherea. Daniela Maria Gomez. Camila Andrea Peñalosa Traslavinia. Maria Andrea Serrano Ugarte. Quinn Noel Cartelli. No problem. Mariana Torres Salazar. Satoka Beku. David E. Prowan. No. Nicolas Dici. Sarah Jane Dean. Gabriela Petrillo. Roman Silva Briones. Ernest Zeffi. Victoria Freni. Inés Trueba Colon de Caraval. Alexia Puyaner Montesinos. Teresa Ladron Javato. Giulietta Alvarez. Stefano Faghetti Romero. Afia Owasua Apia. Malcolm Bedzra. Vittorio Liozapa. Laura Elizabeth Doty. Ile Pinto. Gonka Bass. Estefania Gulin Abdu. Nadia Tibatu Bonet. João Vitor Ferreira Olizenski. Luciana Masco Morales. Dennis Petroyak. Dimitri Buzan. Ile Anikinko. Amir Koilu. Hadis Kubra Bilgin. Simje Karaboga Odesmir. Gabriela Polonio. Forum Vadodaria. Luciana Odila Victoria Gomez Pinto. Charlotte Lenore M. Civiliano. Rania Rayran. Arwa Ali Almotion. Amira Malika Nan. Haiti Layla Ladam. Antoine Mercer. Lena Miros. Victoria Shahion. Katarzina Anna Pesuya. Sofia Isadora Fernandez Bojorquez. Marita Mazanishvili. Ada Najayetska. Linda Kongozawa Adibola. Arabdul Abdallah Al-Johani. Vahid Noor. Maria Fernandez Gonzalez Chavez. Marco Antonio Alberto Arevalo Salazar. Ivan H.R. Caetano. Alina Holovachova. William A. Kelsey. Isabel Charlotte Schultz Hagen. Lori Oringer. Eugene Olga Orla Tezi. Mara Anna Puatan. Laura Maria Chachiofera. Ricardo Escalan. Rafael Leonardo Zuniga Rodriguez. Hubert Villanzana. Francois. Jessie Sarah Valdivizio Arcentales. Maria Camila Cleves Lisa. Dijon Omega St. Rose Cuffy. Fernando Bartolome Gonzalez Martinez. Elena Curson. Alan Alex. Alici Falsa Perla. Dibolena Duta. Leah Diosnovichin. Arturo Ramos Hopkins. Augusto Sena Vieira de Assis. Felipe Luz. Behumi Vivek Bengar. Safa Name. Sofia Anarahio. Naomi M. Rivera. Yifeng Xu. Ping Wu. Xiaoshan Zhang. Jawan Ku. Burfin Gulick. Melda Sezgin. Thapasya Mohan. Shayna Carvalho. Anik Peno Emmanuel Ido. Moen Sadekapur. Andre Schmidt Perez. Thiago Del Percio Inarelli, accompanied by his little one. Thank you all. Congratulations to the graduates.
I am delighted to now be joined by my colleagues, Associate Deans Rhonda Zebnik and Bennett Capers, to announce our incredible JD graduates. August Eden Golden. Saria S. Baladi. Gray Berkowitz. Matthew D. Winter. Alexander Lee Paget. Megan Elizabeth McAlery. Sean P. Phillips. Lindsay June Prutzman. Hannah Melville. Colby Carpenter. Sheridan Hawkins. Evan Nathaniel Viraslav. Matthew Classy. Garrett Altman. Jordan Shane Zaya. John Cater Biddle. Rachel Yale Rubin. Rebecca Noack Egan. Tamar Janice Leff. Madison J. Edwards. Rachel A. Nolan. Wenting Wu. Matthew Kaufman. Ryan William Miller. Benjamin Ofer. Truman G. Phillips. Ron Carmuch. Caitlin Marie Syvertson. Catherine Grace Sherman Cox. India Lee Hamilton. Michael Charles Christensen. Samuel Ganjemi Sosa. Aaron Lee. Christine Goncalves. James Peter Nardi. William Lawrence Brody. Alexander Scott Wilder. Connor James Crone Prouty. Matthew Aguilar Fetterman. John R. Kilkenny. Joshua L. Jacobson. Eric Wan. John M. Spalding. Philip J. Chun. The graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, the Honorable Danny Chun, Fordham Law Class of 1987. Ava Gleischer. Jack Girardi. Samantha Joanne Fazio. Philip Andrew B. Wines. Hunter Frederick Dominic. Gabriela Christina Gagliano. Rachel T. Arone. Jolie Jensko. Serena Kaur Grewal. Elizabeth Ryder Hutch. Antara Agarwal. Ethan Walensky. Jack Raymond Onofrio. Adam Moshe Mark. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their spouse, Almudena Torres Rubio, Fordham Law Class of 2024. Kaylee Rose Marr. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, Christopher Marr, Fordham Law Class of 1993. Ariana Cherie Hopkins. Colleen Huskemp Kemp. Jillian Rose Keys. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, Ted Keys, Fordham Law Class of 1991. Talia J. Rubin. Nina Sidney Berkowitz. Ryan Thomas Lawless. Claire Ray Fleeker. Jennifer Lee Horkovich. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, Robert Horkovich, Fordham Law Class of 1979. Jonathan Michael Palacios. Alexander Philip Filio. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, Phil Filio Jr., Fordham Law Class of 1993. Noah Hankin. Vincent Cahill. Matthew Chase Gallatin.
Eleanor W. Fitzgerald. Katrina Elizabeth Leckie. Caroline Latrice O'Keefe. Annie Rose Madden. Johanny Gabriela Dubon. Yeah. Sophia Michelle Brusco. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, Paul Brusco, Fordham Law Class of 1990. Teresa Robinson Gully. Julia M. Clementi. Sarah Poling. Avery K. Juan. Beatrice Valadiva Cox. Stephanie Sun. Hyejin Khan. Camelia Meftoul. Kevin Brandon Morales. Tyler Hunter Markoff. Brianna Eleanor Courtney. Celine Alhout. Philip Brian O'Connell. Mehmet Halid Zezgin. Ryan Gerard Twitchell. Jacob Nadal Alfara. Garrett Royce Sherman. Connor R. Kelly. Sean Michael Lynch. Yumi Tian Chiu. Elizabeth Marina Hall. Raisa Ebe. Susan Isabella Maroney. Catherine Martinez Fuentes. Sebastian Vegas. Molly Johnston. Catherine Timofeev. Andrea Carolina Beltram. Yeah. Lily Sloan Elkwood. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their brother, Zachary Elkwood, Fordham Law Class of 2018. Taylor Simone Young-Wells. Danielle Marie D'Annunzio. Benjamin James Stultz. Kevin Kwaku Johns. Jose Antonio Olivares Blanca. Kados Alexis Gordon. Alexis Gordon, sorry. Jessica Lynn Chelst. Madeline Wood Hunter. Catherine Ingram. Chrisana Gohl. Caroline Ann Polway. Audrey Kathleen Nelson. Langston Rawls Morrison. Jalen Gabriella Radzminski Hooks. Veronica Lynn Lonman. Annette M. Lopez. Mary Jane Jung. Ariel Sadiq. Sadai Zhao. Ada Chi Jiang. Paul R. Alonji Jr. Elizabeth Kathleen Sanderson. Nicholas Frank Manzella. Sarah Retina Mills Hinton. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, Andy Hinton, Fordham Law Class of 1989. Joshua William Hochstadt. Drew R. Sager. Keone Robert Mahilan. Carla Maria Haddock. Breffney Nicole Neary. Emma Harmon. Jared T. Boyles. Benjamin Craig Kalin.
Elite Rose Zolo Torres. Megan Eileen Minkwaters. Anna Beltunde Crompa. Rebecca Lampiazzi. Colin Buss. Megan Marie Bill. Okay. Marciana Alona Popescu. Jacqueline Coretta Grant. Erica Catherine Weeks. Sophia Inez Roche Cologne. Andrew P. Slouse. John Gordon Greenberg. Rashad R. Mithani. Andrew Woodall. Jessica Ashley Goldman. Talene A. Gazarian. Sean Zay. Akrem Al-Orabi. Brendan C. Murphy. Crystal Tavares. Gabrielle Eosa Perrin. Joseph A. Alex Marchese Schmidt. Timothy Richard Conlon Buffard. Gabrielle J. Lipker. Christopher Joseph Garkey. Keon Erfan Jamaspi. Rouge Tsue. Nancy Liu. Lois Lee. Latasha Catherine Thomas. Stephanie Wong. Yumiko Stephanie Shime. Matthew J. McCormick. Olivia Jo Miles. Neil Kiwani. Kaylin James Velhitz. Pierce Edlick. Kirsten Osling. The graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, Paul Osling, Fordham Law Class of 1973. Haley A. Hurrigan. Alexandra L. Wildman. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, David Wildman, Fordham Law Class of 1999. Karis Hope Franklin. William Henry Russell. Jacob H. Russell. C.J. Lakari. John D. Monos. John Michael Caruso. Benjamin J. Schwartz. Richard Alfonso Green. Chase Connor Cooper. Samantha Vituli. Caitlin Louisi. Kelsey Rose Shelofsky. Taylor Campbell Varaka. Tony-Ann Kamani Hill. Takia Josephine Johnson. Sarah M. Snow. Emma Page Lynch. Sydney Alexandra Fox. Andrew DeConchinas. Stephanie Acevedo Perez. Alexandria Nicole Kreiner. Wei Chung Guo. Craig Samuel Sukov. Paul Adam Feingold. Angelica Aurora Ceballos Arias. Michaela Camila Dunbar. Madeline Sophie McLean. Gabrielle Nicole Sanchez. Sydney Harris. Alexa Jean-Baptiste. Sayer Page. Kenneth D. Berger. Matthew L. Moriarty. Aaron Saul Levine. Jessica Blair Goldstein. Olivia Kate Kepner.
Zachary Austin Chrysler. Amy C. Walker. Jacob Samuel Davis. Ethan Claiborne Wolak. Robert P. Benedenti. Michael J. Freed. Konstantin Vasilis Generis. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, Bill Generis, Fordham Law Class of 1988. William Matthew Bernstein. Alexandra Taylor J. Carly M. O'Toole. Bailey Elizabeth Swartz. Ariana Christina Bufalino. Deirdre M. Ely. Maura McKendrick. Emily M. Stubblefield. Abigail Eliza Van Doren. Rebecca Ann Simon. Naomi Blumenthal Sand. Daniel Howard Schoenfeld. Alexander Isaac Cohen. Benjamin Leo Spiesman. Megan Macaulay Gmelek. Justin Corey Miller. Zachary Taylor Henusek. Danny Y. Yu. Deanna K. Bassarad. Michelle Weston. Sophie Jane Edelman. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, Ronald Edelman, Fordham Law Class of 1989, and their mother, Irene Koch, Fordham Law Class of 1989. Darcy Gallego. Ben Alden McDonald. Lauren S. Reveal. Ross Matthew Levin. Matthew Philip Gawley. Nicholas Frank Mele. Elizabeth Elena Orak. Stephanie Jo Fragulius. Katie O'Grady Scandol. Kayla Bakshi. Courtney Ellen Son. Maya Rogers. Camille Celine Campbell. Rebecca Michelle Getz. Justin Paul Chaljub. Sarah DeBlanc Fellenbaum. Lindsay Jane Adams. Kelsey Weisberg. Noah Eric Seligson. Curtis Jordan Stahl. Taylor A. McIntyre. Leah Bella Vallone. Monica Elizabeth Owen.
I've been requested to take over by the students. Christian Sulia. James McMillan. Miles Oliva. Yannick K. Tumusi. Marissa Leigh Randolph. Javier Melendez. Christian Ariel Vega. Matthew James Haig. Matthew Peter Hahn. Jacob Sobel. Zachary Jacob Goldberg. Ellie Kern. Pratyusha Virareddy. Maria Ignacia Vasquez. Anushka Sarkar. Jane Changling Mezzino. Hira Mustafa. Ryan Darko. Anchor P. Fano. Jonathan Friedman. Claire Ellen Easley. Olive Olson. Olive Olson, sorry. Andre Ramon Perez. Bianca Nicole Butler. Cinnamon Kristen St. John. Philip J. Parks. William Lionel Anderson. Shravya Ralapalli. Isabella R. DeMarco. Tierra O. Edwards. Yanan Wang. Emily J. Yi. Cynthia Jing Jin. Robert Treat Haas. Milan Sadiq George. Uchenu Margaret Onyuke. Katie Bridget Kavanaugh. Julia Lee Jansen. Michael Gordon. Sophia Catherine Sabat. Adriana Michelle Muncy. Helen O. Bamiro. Rochelle Obalisi Tokunbo Kehinde. Abba Duen Augre. Michelin Bellis. Simran Monique Greenhow. Kristen Grimes. Marcus S. Jung. Callum Henry Mullen. Avery Jesse Lubin. Ben Craples. Dean Feynman. Benjamin P. Kaufman. Ruby K. T. Hirsch. Vanessa A. Vogel. Joy Camunto. Matthew T. Salovich. Anika Ray Jorgensen. Abigail Grace Conroy. Sarah Ann Schmoyer. Samantha Lask. Sophie Lowenstein. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, David Lowenstein, Fordham Law Class of 1987. Elizabeth Ashley Woods. Nora Stefflieber. Human Yazdani In. Olivia Rose Valdica. Donovan Tate Souza. Douglas Whalen. Alyssa D. Clune. Thomas M. Wallace. Christopher J. Whitaker. Faustino S. Galante.
Natalie Monet Moulton Levy. Kassan Khaled Abu Alpha. Hannah Alicia Smith. Austin Andrew Dale. Menachem Mendel Pinson. Levi Zwickler. Zev Schechter. Carrie-Ann Reynolds. Jasmine Rochelle Boyer. Karen Buitano. Sarah Grace Hartman. Harper Yuchen Tang. Sarah Ruark Hutter. Madison Gabrielle Rodman. Carson King. Oliver Stiles Price. Olivia Hoy Chang. Kobe Mayhew. Amanda Tomiko Cooper. Isabel Victoria Lascaro. Amanda Lynn. Justin DeMontano Lahera. Alexis Christine Salney. Christopher Aurelio Freire. Lola Ivana Todman. Alexandra Bixler. Hallie R. Fiedler. Caroline M. Higgins. Ariana Paulina Sanis. Corey Wong. Brandon A. Shirazi. Hebam Shin. Christopher S. An. Alice Suyung Chung. Diane Shin. Charlene Pasha. Vivek Hari Vimula. Ashley Kim. Shanice Tatiana Scantlebury. Aaron J. Rondon. John Lawrence Vernon. Mark Paul Mata. Eric Mayhew. Kate A. Gillum. Margaret Morey. Max Jacob Weisbrot. Lindsay Rachel Lubowitz. Carolyn Marie Agavari. Amelia Estevez McManus. This graduate's degree is being conferred by their father, John McManus, Fordham Law Class of 1987. Alina N. Ekbal. Shriram H. Ramesh. Nicole A. Drapal. Samantha Jyoti Golden. Alexander Gabriel Arce. Jose Caceres. Natalie Orel Schoenfeld. Daniel A. Goldstein. Jacob Gross. Alexander Leifman. Michael V. Fitzgerald. Rousey Wang. Kayla Saletti Brown. Joshua Clayton Saul. David Schwartz. Avery Solomon Bell. It is with great enthusiasm that I now present to you the members of the Fordham Law School class of 2025. Congratulations. Before we close, I want to thank the incredibly dedicated staff, the entire Fordham family, everyone who made today such a success. And now, please stand and join me in welcoming Father John Cicero back to the stage to deliver our closing prayers.
A short prayer, I promise. Almighty God, as we go forth from this graduation ceremony, may these new graduates carry forth in their personal and professional lives the values and virtues imparted to them during their time at Fordham, an unwavering commitment to justice, the courage to pursue truth and fairness in the exercise of law, and especially compassion for those in special need. Bless them on their way as leaders, practitioners, scholars, and advocates, all to your greater honor and service. We humbly pray in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Father Cicero. And now, graduates, one final assignment. After you take your pictures today, please return your caps and gowns under the tent located outside the McShane Center before 3 p.m. As we begin our succession, I would kindly ask family and guests to please remain in your seats until everyone on stage and all of our graduates have processed out. Graduates, please wait to be ushered out by the volunteers. You will be directed out row by row, starting with the last row of graduates. Congratulations!